Hi, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So I already pulled the overall message to just see where the energy was going, what's the insight for today, what guidance are we receiving. And we have the spin the silken thread divine that came out. So I get this energy that most of you, many of you, are in this essence of constructing your life, constructing how you want to move forward in life. Construction. The spin the silken, can you see that? Spin the silken thread divine is card number 30. Let's clear out the energy a little. And with the spinning of thread is a very delicate fiber. In order for this thread to come forth, the silkworms go through a very tedious process to come forward out of the cocoon to weave these silken threads. Okay? And so what I'm getting is that many of you have gone through what could have felt like tedious processes. Some of you are in tedious processes now as you're constructing your life. This construction could be happening on the spiritual realm. No, it's definitely happening in the spiritual, because things happen on the spiritual realm before they literally happen in the mundane. But I get this essence that many of you are constructing your life on the mundane as well. So you're choosing, constructing. When there's new construction of a house, you choose the materials that you want to build with. Do you want wood floors? Are you going to use laminate? Are you going to use latex paint? Are you going to use construction, right? Is it going to be made out of shipping containers? Are you going to use concrete? Are you going to use wood? There's a sifting, a sorting out process, right? And so when it comes to silk, there's also a sorting out, a shifting process that happens. And anyone who knows thread, like, it's an expensive material because it is very delicate. So some of you are in a very delicate process right now of your sifting out of the things that you're choosing to take along with you and the things you're choosing not to take along and or not use in your construction process. I'm hearing spiritual silk. So it's like cords, right? Some of you are cutting cords, and some of you are weaving very delicate cords together. Take it as it resonates. Some cords, for some of you, I'm getting this energy that they've been very strong cords, like even strongholds within your life. And so many of you are releasing these strongholds, and you're moving very delicately with how you're choosing to move forward, with what you're connecting to, with whom you're connecting to, with how you're constructing. For many of you, this sifting and this sorting out is occurring as you're removing what's broken from you, the things that feel broken, broken emotions, broken relationships, to move towards a more pureness of heart, things that align with your true essence of your heart is what I'm getting. For some of you, this is happening on the spiritual because you're choosing to take with you what you're wanting in the next lifetime. Take it as it resonates. This isn't for everyone. But some of you, you're not taking certain energy, certain aspects of your life. So it's like you're at this moment where in your construction, you're tapping into past lifetimes, right? And it's like your past lifetimes are calling you in this moment. And the past is calling in two aspects I'm getting. In one aspect, as you're constructing your past that feels weighty, those cords that feel like strongholds are asking to be released. So as you're constructing, you're releasing, clearing out past aspects that for some of you, you felt shame about, and there is no need to feel shame. So you're in this process of healing those past lives. And for some of you, the healing just comes by you releasing it, making a decision to not move forward into the next lifetime with certain aspects, certain energies, certain entities. The other aspect of this, where your past life is calling you forward, is it's calling you to now take those qualities, those skills, those talents that you've accumulated over past lifetimes and bring them into the present moment to assist you in weaving silk. Silk is usually woven together. In weaving this fabric of your present life in this moment, but also in the next lifetime, I'm getting for some of you. You're in this energy of spinning the thread, divinely guided, tapping into the past to release what no longer. So I get this energy of, how does it go? Sifting the wheat and the chaff. All those things came together to make you who you are in this present moment. All the good, all the not so good. I'm not calling it bad because all of it was an opportunity to grow. The things that felt like shame, anything that felt like a mistake, it was all for your soul to have these adventures, to have these mistakes, to have the success. So you're now in the process of sifting the wheat, which is the things you're taking forward with you, away from the chaff, the things you're leaving behind. And it's like you're very finely, in a very delicate way, seeing the value of the lessons, like with silk, and weaving a very beautiful, bliss-filled fabric of your life. Card number 30, 3 and 0, total 3. This is you using your creative ability to call forth those aspects from past lives, the successes, the talents and the skills you know that you've gained and are able to tap into. And for many of you, you've had some great experiences. Even the ones that felt like mistakes or shame are bringing you into this essence of being a great spiritual teacher. Many of you are recognizing that they were spiritual experiences, even the mistakes. Mistakes are necessary in order to grow. Necessary in order for you to learn what not to do. When you know what you don't want, then you know that much more what you do want. Take it as it resonates. Many of you are taking control with authority over your life. Yes, even for the next lifetime. How do you do that? Because you're not racking up more karma in this lifetime. You're actually tapping into that energy of Dharma. And so as you're healing ancestral patterns and making it better for the generations to come after you, it's also making things, weaving the fabric for the next lifetime like a fine silk garment. For many of you, as you're having this construction and you're weaving this construction together, you're tapping into different realms, different worlds, because you're accessing past life gifts. Excuse me. As you're doing this, there is this need, especially with the juniper here. Those are the two, these are the two energies you got from the wisdom of the trees today. The juniper and the boba tree. Can you see? Wait. Juniper looks like this. The juniper tree is about spiritual protection. As you're accessing the spiritual realm, you're being encouraged to make sure you're psychically protected in whatever way and shape and form you do that. Calling on the Most High, saying a prayer, saging, calling on the ancestors. As you're weaving this, constructing, tapping into these spiritual realms, it's important to make sure you're psychically protected, okay? Take that as, as it comes. Now, the juniper is about when you call on this energy, because in ancient times, that's what they did. They used the juniper tree. It would be left at doorsteps or placed in sacred places where meditation was done to travel into different realms. It was used as it was that herb, that was used when they would go into access the spiritual realms. It would be like a benevolent spiritual gatekeeper for you. Okay? And so with the juniper being here, it assists you with moving through the spiritual realms, being that benevolent gatekeeper between the mortal realms and the spiritual worlds. For some of you, because the juniper is also here, you may have found yourself feeling some issues with kidneys and or urinary problems. This is also the aspects that may have been being attacked on the spiritual. So when people do spell work, if any of you have been having like kidney problems or urinary problems, yeah. You can also create teas and tinctures from juniper berries. They have a very bitter taste, but they have a very healing medicinal aspect. Juniper is also one of those berries that's used to make alcohol. And you know we call alcohol a spirit for a reason. Okay? So, as you're accessing these spiritual realms, you also have the boba tree here. The boba was considered the tree that's like one of the trees to the gateways of the afterlife. Try to make sure you can see it. Okay, there we go. And so some of you, as I said, you're traveling between these worlds. Some of you are even going back to past lives where you're tapping into that afterlife energy. Juniper for psychic protection. And move with authority in those realms. Take charge with authority, okay? Now, the boba, this tree also coming out here tells me that some of you may have felt like you've been in survival mode. The boba tree is one of those trees that if you lived in a place of drought, where drought happens for long times, like Australia or Africa, this tree was like a lifesaver. So some of you, even when it felt like there's been drought in your life, you've always had like this lifesaver kind of a line. Take that as it resonates. But the boba tree is one of those trees that can literally store water. So it's like on a spiritual, I get this essence that many of you, no matter what you're going through in the mundane or how it looks, you're being encouraged to have faith. Because on the spiritual realm, you always have sustenance, like long-lasting sustenance, spiritual sustenance. There's no drought when it comes to things for you on the spiritual. There's also this need for you to make each day count. So take the gifts and the talents, the things that you have here, that you've been given here, and make them count. Some of you are also doing this in the spiritual. That's where you're doing this construction, where you're weaving things together. Also weave together with each day here. Like, don't take it for granted. Make each day count. When it comes to the boba tree, the seeds are very edible. They're edible. They're high in vitamin C. So, take that one too. Okay. So, remember, as you're making each day count, I'm getting for some of you, as you're making each day count, as you're constructing things together, you're finding those that you're going to be working with. We have the Iwa's rune here. So it's like you're carving out your spiritual path, and places where you, in the past, you're walking the path towards them. Meaning, Certain things you've left behind. You only have this little bag and this staff to carry with you. So you're taking the tools with you that you need. The tools to weave the silk together, to weave the fabric together. You're not taking excess baggage of emotions. Time to release that. Any excess baggage that was weighing you down from past lives, time to release that. Many of you are stepping into your leadership qualities, not just being a boss, but a leader. And as you're being a leader, you're creating a path for others to follow. Do you see there's two people? One person's already on the path and another's following along, and you're creating a map, a spiritual map. Like, I keep hearing neural pathways. For some of you, you're creating maps within your mind, opening up new pathways. For some of you, this is creating pathways within the new world. Things are splitting, shifting, being sorted out. And you guys are some of the leaders of the new earth. Leaders, okay, take that as it resonates. Leadership. That's card number 39. 9 and 3 is 12. 2 and 1 is 3. We have that energy of 3 again. 30 with the spin the silk, and 39 with the leadership here. Many of you are coming into speaking your truth, knowing your truth, moving into truth, being patient as you're receiving the truth, because patience is a virtue. Being patient as you're weaving this fabric together, because silk is a very delicate fiber, so you're not handling it all rough. You're going to be patient with the process, trusting the process. As you're trusting the process, as I said, new earth here. We have the Ingwas rune here with earth. So many of you are planting seeds. I keep getting seeds for the next lifetime. Yes, seeds here too, because you're weaving things together. But on the spiritual, some of you are putting in work. You're like gardeners. For real, creating new paths. Weaving things together. The Ingwas rune also speaks about fertility and birth, connecting with Mother Earth, Gaia. And some of you, many of you, you're all in. Like no hesitation. I'm leaving the emotional baggage. I'm moving forward. I'm weaving this beautiful fabric of my life for this lifetime and the next. I'm being the gardener and sowing the seeds, tapping into abundance. Card number 8. As many of you are tapping into this abundance, you're reflecting. And it takes this reflection energy, card number 22, to become the master builder of your life, to be all in. This reflection is also seeing yourself for who you are, accepting the past mistakes, accepting the shame, accepting the dark, releasing the shame, releasing the mistakes, reflecting on the skills, the qualities, the talents, and the abilities that you do have and that you're desiring and or being and taking with you and constructing. As you're reflecting, many of you are also reflecting on your lineage, the gifts that were passed down to you, You're reflecting on what things need to be healed within your lineage, within yourself. As you're healing these things within yourself, you're not wanting to pass these things down to your children. I keep hearing it. When we know better, we do better. So as you're tapping into this ancient healing wisdom, like a shaman, like a healer, like a nurse, like a herbalist, it's like you're keeping this wisdom alive. You know how how does it go? When you don't use it, you lose it. A lot of the wisdom about herbs and certain teas and tinctures, a lot of those things have been lost. And it's like many of you are tapping into this wisdom and locating this wisdom so that it can be used again and not be forgotten. GPS globally around the world. Even in other worlds. Take that as it resonates. And with this other world, I'm getting from like past lifetimes. Card number 15, 5 and 1 is 6. You're bringing back a balance in healing, a balance in your lineage for many of you, a balance even in wisdom, where some wanted these natural cures and remedies to be forgotten. Many of you are doing a very vital work and you're tapping into bringing this wisdom forward so that it can be utilized. Holistic healing, I'm hearing. For some of you, you felt like you were doing it alone, sometimes doing things alone, going within. But I'm getting more so is that this ancient healing wisdom, you're tapping in with others and creating a sanctuary of healing. Now, some of you may literally be doing this. You have the know-how, the resources, and you've created healing sanctuaries, whether this is through massage, whether you've got land somewhere, I heard Costa Rica, and you're creating, I'm seeing like herbs growing naturally, wild. Some of you are writing books about these herbs so this wisdom can continue to be passed on. Healing sanctuaries. Tapping into ancient wisdom. For many of you, this is also what that construction was about. I'm seeing some of you choosing how to put irrigation together, like so the plants kind of water themselves. Many of you are gaining more clarity about these sanctuaries that you're building. Some of you are gaining clarity on this ancient healing that you're gaining wisdom about. Many of you are gaining clarity for card number 5 for transformation and change to take place. And you have a very fine-tuned vision, confirmation. Fine-tuned vision, like you're focused on what it is that you see. You see the eagle is covering her crown chakra here. So it's like some of you, an eagle can fly very high and see, like, when it's going for its target, it can be flying very high and actually see the target. And I get this in the spiritual, but also in this world. Like many of you, the sanctuaries that you're building, this ancient healing wisdom that you're coming into, you have your eye focused. And I'm seeing it's like your third eye. In the spiritual, you're moving like an eagle. So an eagle usually flies alone. Just like this man in the cave here. Now they have a family. They're very loyal to their family. But you don't see eagles flying in flocks. They're not chickens. They're not pigeons. They don't usually congregate together. Even their nest is off somewhere on top of a cave. Off somewhere high up in the trees. Many of you are making these plans you're constructing, you're creating the transformation, you're being the transformation you want to see moving forward in this lifetime and the next. You're focused, see? This is that clarity. GPS, you know the direction you're going. 5, moving from the transformation into the balance and the harmony. Looking at it from a higher perspective and then moving towards your location. For many of you, as you're reflecting and moving forward, you're creating unity. For some of you, that is exactly what you want to create. This is what those sanctuaries are about. Where you're connected with like-minded people who also want to see these ancient healing wisdoms come forth. Like-minded people who want to see, I heard, the healing of the nation. Like-minded people who walk in truth. There's this energy of amplifying that. Ripple effects. The ripple effect creating more unity. UNITY. And manifesting those thoughts of unity, I'm hearing. Manifesting and expressing acts of love. Releasing the illusions and the misunderstandings. It's not going to be two meanings about something. It's going to be very clear. Straight up clarity. Card number 36 totals 9. The cycles of misunderstandings, not clearly speaking, not clearly moving towards a path. That's wrapping up for many of you. You're releasing emotional baggage. You're reflecting and then moving forward with an eagle's eye, I keep hearing. With focus. Because you've learned from these spiritual experiences and how misunderstandings can happen. And you don't want the misunderstandings anymore. Just the clarity. Being all in with people that are like-minded, being all in with people that are with the unity and the unity of a higher vibration. The unity of raising the frequency, of raising the vibration. Of renewal. Even this, I don't know, I'm seeing something here with this plant that's growing. It's like it was birthed into something else. And many of you are going to be in awe of the things that you're birthing forth. Like a little kid, it's like children get so excited about the smallest of events and they appreciate them. Many of you are going to be tapping into that childlike innocence and just enjoying even the smallest. The smallest expressions of kindness, the smallest expressions of unity, even the smallest expressions of where clarity is being rebirthed and the renewal of clarity. The joy I just heard in being connected with like-minded people and able to sow seeds that are going to birth forth healing, seeds that are going to birth forth construction that's sustaining, sustenance. We spoke about that spiritual sustenance. This sustenance, if you look, comes with wisdom. See that owl there? Sustenance. Connecting with the standing ones, the trees. Do you see the face on that tree there? Ancient healing wisdom comes from the herbs, from the trees, from the plants. Many of you are going to be expressing this. We have expression here twice. Some of you are expressing this through music. Some of you are expressing this through your words. All of you are expressing this through your actions. Because a thought becomes the action that transforms, the actions that are expressed to transcend to a higher vibration, a vibration of love, of unity, of sustenance that is, of unity that is sustaining. Does this happen overnight? No. Patience is a virtue, though. Even the small steps, it's happening. Where it may not look like it today, you ever gone out into a garden and you planted the seeds and one day there's nothing, and then you go out there and there's a whole bunch of things just popping up? Berries and fruits and peppers and avocados and mangoes. It doesn't happen. No, we're not doing that. Not too many today. Give me just a few. It doesn't happen like overnight. And this is where that patience comes from, because it does happen. But you have to allow for the divine wisdom to come forth. Card number 36 here again. Oh no, that was 39. 36 totals 9. There are cycles that are over so that cycles of divine wisdom can begin. This divine wisdom for many of you is about this ancient healing wisdom. For some of you, this divine wisdom is being able to tap into the energy to construct for your next lifetime. Who thought you could do that, right? But many of you are coming into this remembrance of these gifts, these skills, these qualities. Card number 11. 11 is a master number. 1 and 1 is 2. You're remembering certain partnerships you had in past lifetimes, reflecting on how you want to move forward with connections, how you're healing certain connections, how you're letting go of certain connections, emotional baggage. Some of you are remembering your soul's song. We had that expression come out here. And I get that it's like your soul is singing a song, and that some of you are now like hearing it, you're remembering it. Card number 41, 4 and 1 is 5. Your soul's song is bringing forth change, transformation. As many of you are singing your soul song and remembering, I just heard remembering the lyrics and the melody, remembering the tones and the harmony. It's creating this ancient healing, but you're also tapping into the soul tree. So I get the tree of life with this one. 2 and 1. 2 and 1 is 3. Again, with that 3 energy. This soul tree is where you're gathering these very delicate, divine silk threads. It's where you're tapping into higher consciousness and bringing it down, like as above, so below. Do you see the earth here? Connected with this tree, soul tree. But also on the tree, there are many branches. So for some of you, these branches are about the lifetimes you've lived, the connections you've made on different branches. There are different connections. You're weaving this together and planting the seeds that you're choosing to move forward with. We have the dumeterite crystal here and the malachite. Malachite's been coming out a lot lately. Malachite represents the big transformations that are happening for many of you. These transformations of tapping into truth, getting over misunderstandings from past lifetime into this lifetime, and not taking them forward into the next lifetime. I heard deciding your soul's adventure, deciding your soul's song. The malachite helps you with the energy that's radiating from you, to you, and for you. As you're having these big transformations and these drastic changes, the malachite's that stone that gives you that courage to go through these transformations, because change is not always an easy process for some. Letting go of people, places, and things that you've been connected to, for some of you for lifetimes, and now knowing this wisdom that you're cutting certain cords because they feel heavy, so that you can weave a more delicate fabric of your life. It takes strength to do that. So for some of you to meditate, this is what the malachite crystal looks like, okay? Do you see the green striations within that? This malachite crystal is assisting with the energy that's radiating from you. It assists you with the energy as you're traveling through these worlds into the spiritual world with this soul tree, going from earth, below to above, as above, so below. When you're meditating, this is one of those crystals that can assist you to have the courage and the strength for these drastic changes I just heard. This is what that looks like up close, okay? And then we have the Dumaterite crystal here. Dumaterite helps you to get back in control. This is what that looks like up close. It's a blue crystal. It helps you to get back in control of your truth, your soul's truth, to get control of your life. Dumaterite is a crystal that can help you when you're meditating to become more organized with your thoughts as you're having these big transformations. Dumaterite also helps with self-discipline. So like when you need to succeed at something, when you need to succeed at weaving this fabric together, succeed even in small victories, succeed in organizing your life. Maybe you want to get more organized, and it amplifies that energy. Getting more organized in your business for some of you, organized in your bedroom for others of you, organized with your paperwork. Anything that feels very chaotic in your life, the Dumaterite can assist you with bringing and feeling more inner peace, to assist you to releasing the chaotic energy. For some of you, you haven't really been expressing yourself. You've been in isolation. I'm getting this energy that it's time to come out of isolation because the chaos is being released. You're now more confident in your truth. Don't let things just pass you by. It's time to release. See? Release the emotional baggage. Release things that are weighing you down and dissipating your energy. Release isolating yourself. We have the solar plexus, the throat chakra, and the crown chakra here. Well, this is like the soul star chakra, where you're connecting with the divine. And this one, it speaks of neutral. It's a neutral color. Either way, do you see these three cards? These are the chakras that are being affected. And so this is what you're constructing. You're leaving this from past lifetimes where you allowed your energy to be dissipated like a graveyard by others, by thoughts, by shame, by guilt, by being isolated or isolating yourself. This is what you're not taking with you. And if you weren't aware, the divine is making you aware of these things. For some of you from past lifetimes, for some of you in this lifetime, be aware of where you're dissipating your energy. I woulda, coulda, shoulda, was gonna do this one day, but I didn't have the confidence to do it. Or the opportunity came and you let it dissipate or pass you by. I'm hearing some spent the money on frivolous stuff, not the things you were actually focused on that could have took you into longevity for this lifetime, into longevity for the next lifetime. So don't get the money and waste the thing, no man. Don't get the money. And money in this aspect could be the energy to do certain things and then not do it. For some of you, it's literal money. There are certain things that are going to create legacy, generational wealth, I'm hearing. Don't blow the money on frivolous things that are fleeting for the moment. Don't be afraid to go into solitude. Use solitude, but don't isolate yourself from life, from enjoying life, and from speaking the things that just don't work for you. Many of you are releasing. Releasing, I'm hearing also spirits, entities, energies that can't come with you into the next lifetime, that are also dissipating your energy in this lifetime. As you're constructing this fabric and putting this silk together, you're not taking these energies, you're releasing isolation, fear, guilt, and anything that dissipates your confidence. You're being able to express yourself. Your joy. Anything that doesn't feel like it's bringing sustenance, joy, growth into your life. Anything that's not compatible with you or feels like a soulmate that doesn't make you feel abundant, it's not coming with you. You're releasing it. Abundance is card number 1. You're starting new cycles. The soulmates is card number 33. The 3 energy is very big again. And then 5 with compatibility is that change. That releasing what's not compatible with you and weaving what is compatible, what does feel abundant, what does feel like a soulmate. We have 3 that are being released and 3 that you're taking with you. Can you see that? Releasing the isolation and the things that dissipate energy in order to weave together abundance, soulmates, and compatibility. And as we're wrapping this up, oh, we got one more. What is this? What was this? Yeah, releasing rejection and feeling rejected. For some of you, being rejected by others was something that was dissipating your energy. And now you're thankful for the rejection. I'm hearing the rejection was God's protection. May I have some messages from the tarot to wrap this up, please? I mean, the message has been given, but I always like to wrap it up with some tarot, okay? My hands are so little. Ay, ay, ay. Come on. There you go. Okay, that's good. Okay, messages to wrap this up for the collective. As they're weaving this silk fabric, what do they need to be aware of? What messages would you like for the collective to receive today? Most High, Creator, Source, Ancestors, for our highest and greatest good, thank you for the wisdom, the guidance, and the insight. Thank you. Okay, so there's some messages that are coming forward. For some of you, I'm getting that some of these messages, as you're releasing people, places, and things, there are going to be some apologies that are coming. For some of you, I'm hearing you're apologizing to yourself. For staying so long in certain energies that wounded you. But you're forgiving yourself, apologizing, and moving forward. Leaving behind past hurts, making a decision, a judgment call to what you're slowly going to methodically move forward towards. How you're going to take your time and methodically weave this fabric together. Where you're going to plant this pentacle. Turning your back, walking away from the hurt, from the pain, for some, for even the apologies, from immaturity, for the times where you were young and immature yourself and didn't handle yourself properly as well. It's like you've spiritually grown, gained so many skills over lifetime that you're now ready to make the decision, the judgment call to move forward, to talk to yourself better, to weave this fabric and construct your life. You see, you're not in a rush. Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You're not in the rush. They say the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. But when you take your time, you can do the thing properly. No shortcuts. You know exactly where you're going to plant this seed. You know exactly how to pluck out the chaff from the wheat. You know exactly how to take the best threads of silk so that you can look good in your fabric, you know? So that you're weaving the best life for you, the best connections, so that you're finding the compatibility as you're moving towards this change, so that you're weaving forward the best soulmates, so that you're tapping into the abundance on every level and aspect. You look at this abundance, there are jewels and crystals and fairies and winged angels, that looks like, in this cave. It's like, and we had the cave come out here. So for some of you, your cave used to look very bare. In ancient times, you were writing on a wall. And this was the past. This is what you walked away. See, you walked out of this cave where you felt isolated and where things weren't coming together. So you walked out of this cave, right? Where you felt hurt, isolated, rejected, neglected. And then you slowly but surely moved forward. And look at your little cave now. Look at this cave. Can you see that? You're going to put that pinnacle right there. There is water flowing in this cave. You can put that pinnacle in there. Yeah. You're now ready, making these decisions, working with the divine, co-creating with the divine. And I heard, slowly but surely, you're getting there. Slowly but surely. Knight of Pentacles. So I want to thank you for joining me. That has been the message for today. Remember, always shoot for the moon. And even if you miss, you are still amongst the stars. And to always, always, always let your light shine bright. Let your light shine bright. Always let your light shine bright. Do what? Let your light shine bright. Thank you for joining me, Tonae Star.